recording this? Okay. So do you want to just go ahead and you can go first. I was going to ask you for your story, but that would be me going first.
Okay. Do you want me to ask you for your story?
Sure, if you want me to.
Christy, tell us about you. Who are you?
Okay. I know. It's funny because we're doing this together. So just so you guys know, she asked me to be on her team training, but guess what? We do them at the same time. So I was like, I want you on mine. You want me on yours? Well, let's do it together. So that's why we are. But it's good. It's good for us to share stories with our own teams anyway. So I am Christy Christensen. I'm an ambassador in the company. Holler. And so I have been in this business. I just hit 7 years in, it was November 30th, I think, the last day of November. And I started this business just because I wanted to earn some extra money so that I could start having kids. That's it. That's why. We were newlyweds. We moved to Utah. And I saw all these little babies at church, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want a baby. And my husband's like, okay, we are on food stamps and Medicaid, and that's not the life to bring a baby into. And I was like, but I want my freaking baby. And so I was actually a hairstylist. I was working at a salon, and my paychecks sucked. They were like $200 every 2 weeks. Aaron will tell you a little bit less because sometimes they were. I didn't know anybody. I had to go back to school also there. And so it sucked. I was making no money. Aaron told me, like, just get a job at Walmart. Like, they're hiring just like a part-time thing until hair picks up. And I was like, dude, I'm not working at Walmart. I just literally went to hair school for a year for 8 hours a day. Like, no, I'm not doing that. So anyways, at my first salon, such a blessing. I met this girl. She was doing the business. She signed me up. I didn't make really I didn't bring in any customers or distributors for my first 3.5 months in the business. That's the big point. The big point was that I was a slow starter, but I always had my auto ship on, and I always was selling samples because that's all I knew until I kind of picked things up. So a year later, my husband was able to stop working as well as me, and then he was just able to go to school. I literally never saw him before that. And by then I had my first baby, so that was easy, and that was awesome. And then things just kept going from there. You know, every single freedom that this business can provide, it provided. The next year, we started doing trips. We started doing vacations. We didn't have any debt, thankfully. And so we were able to just live with the extras, with the awesomeness. You know what I mean? So, sorry. And it's hella distracting me. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm unmuting. Hold on, guys. I'm going to mute everybody and not allow participants to unmute themselves because I get totally squirrel. Okay. Anyways, so 7 years later, last year, actually, we hit the Millionaires Club. So within 6 years of this business, we made $1 million. Where else can you do that? Nowhere else. Okay. We all say we started for the gas money, but like, to be honest, at the end of the day, you're not gonna take the grit that it takes and input it into this business unless you're looking for more than gas money. Like, that's my thing. Like, some people might join for gas money, but you're only gonna stay if you're looking for the big bucks. So anyways, that's my story. I have 4 kids now. I didn't have any when I started. So any phase of life you can think of, I've been through it. So I'm just like a totally no excuses person. We are going to be buying our dream home and completely remodeling it this next year. And so we're really excited about that. We have our dream car, you know, all the good stuff, you guys. Whatever's on your dream board, that we've probably done it. Literally, we've probably done it. And then we're just upgrading. We're just upgrading our life. Anyways, okay. Sorry. Go ahead. I could talk forever. Oh, you can't unmute. Let me find you again. Okay. There you go.
There we go. Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Okay, yeah. So you may share my story, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm Morgan, and I joined this business 5 years ago, and I was just a broke college student. I was about 20 years old, and I literally could not afford gas and groceries. I was putting those things on credit cards, and the struggle was real. Like, I was just living that college life that everybody thinks is so normal. But guys, like, I woke up one day and I was like, there has to be more than this. this cannot be it, you know? And I had just moved across the country from Mississippi to Michigan, which is still where I live now. And I didn't know anybody. My family wasn't here. I had no extra support financially. So it was all on me. And it was a lot of pressure. And I finally, I was working as a nanny. And while the kids were asleep one day, I was scrolling through Instagram. So I had time to do this business, even though I thought that I didn't. I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw this girl posting about the wraps. And I was like, there's no way that that's real. I thought they were photoshopped, thought they were fake, thought they were weird and crazy, but I had been diagnosed with a heart condition a couple months before that, and I was not allowed to work out or exercise because my doctor said that it would not be safe. So I had gained a lot of weight, and I really wanted to be confident. It was around the summertime, and so I decided to go ahead and order the wraps because I knew that they wouldn't work, but I just wanted to try them anyways in case they did. With my third wrap, I saw amazing results. I was obsessed. I was already so excited talking to all my friends about them, and got the hair, skin, and nails, just tried different products, and I loved them. And I didn't know that I could do the business part. I had no idea because I'm so red. Had I known that that was an option, that's what I would have started with, especially because the wraps came with the kit. So I didn't know that, but I went to the girl that signed me up for the wraps, and I saw her Instagram, and her bio said that she was an Emerald with It Works. So me being red, I was like, how much does an Emerald with It Works make? And she was making how much I was from her phone as a college student, as I was working full time, as a nanny, watching 3 kids 40 hours a week. So I was like, if she can do that, I can make $100 a month. I had super low standards for myself. I had no dreams of ever being successful with this, much less even making $1,200 a month. And so I just started basically for gas and grocery money. But fast forward to now, I promoted to Ruby in 4 months. And that's kind of where I really realized that I could do this business. And then went on a cruise that year, and I was about ready to quit because I had been Ruby for a whole entire year. And I just started to lose myself in this comparison game. If any of y'all have been there, drop a 1 in the comments. You're like, yes, I've compared too. That's pretty much everybody. If not, you're lying. So we all compare, right? And I started to look at all these people, and I was like, they joined before me, they joined after me, and now they're already diamond. What's wrong with me? And so I started to have all these doubts, but I went to this cruise. So I got to an event, and I just had my fire lit. And a couple months after that, I promoted from Ruby to Emerald, and then Emerald to Diamond in the same day. And then a year later, I promoted to Double Diamond. So she had a slow start. I feel like I've had a slow 5 years. It's taken me a long time to promote to each rank, but that's okay, because just like she said, if I keep going, I'm going to hit ambassador. And where can you ever make $33,000 a month from your phone, being able to spend time with your kids that I don't have yet, and just hanging out and doing what you love and being able to be present for every moment of life? Who gets to do that? So what does it matter how long it takes me? And it took me a while to realize that, but that's true, right? So anyway, because of this business, we have been able to do, like she said, just everything. We have been able to pay off over $100,000 in debt. We have built our dream home. We paid for our wedding and our honeymoon in cash. I quit my jobs in 2016, retired my then boyfriend, now husband, in 2017. Now he gets to pursue a job that he loves instead of chasing a paycheck. So it's just been amazing. We're super, super grateful. And we've met so many different people and friends that we never would have had if it wasn't for this business. So we're definitely better people because it works. So that's my story.
I love that. That actually sounds very similar to Eliana's. It's so funny because it's you come into this business and you are a completely different person 5 years later, not just with the money that you're making, but your lifestyle. It's just it's awesome because we all kind of grow up together. We grow our families together. We grow through college together or whatever it is. So I love that. Okay. So do you want to go first or should I?
You start and then I'll kind of feed off of that, but I have my notes here. So.
Okay, perfect. So for me, you guys, I was really trying to think what is it about a money mindset, a millionaire's mindset? What is the difference? And it might be because I'm reading our first January book also. But I was also listening to this video this morning, and you guys, it really is all about your habits, because a millionaire mindset is an action. That's what it is. It is an action. It is not a thing that you are born with. It is not something that you just get to go to a seminar and all of a sudden you have a millionaire mindset. It is not something like that. It is an action. Okay. So if you're in this business right now and you're waiting for a light bulb to go off for you to be like, I am worth it, I am capable, I can do this, it's not going to happen. You have got to take the action and then the belief and then the mindset will come. And when I say action, yeah, I mean working the business, but more so I mean changing your habits of your personal development. And I'm really big in, you guys, like, I'm not saying that you have to go to the gym or you have to work out, but you have to have a morning routine. That is going to change your mindset to be able to allow other things to grow in there. Like, I kind of feel like it's so funny. You guys have seen those pies, you know, a man's brain is like left or right. And a woman's brain is like all of this. It's just like garbage. It's just like full. You look right and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I need a new tree here and this pen is broken. Like, your mind just goes crazy. And so I truly believe that having a routine, you guys, is what allows your brain the headspace for this business to be capable of believing that you can make $5,000 from your phone, $15,000 from your phone, $50,000 from your phone. And that's what it is. And so for me, you guys, I urge you guys to create a morning routine. Okay. Because for me, and I said it kind of on my, my live that I did earlier on my page, but I'm not perfect. I have some habits that I'm trying to change, and I have some that are set in place that without them, I would not be where I'm at. And so one of them that I'm not very good at is going to bed on time, right? We put the kids to bed and we're like, it's quiet, like we can talk, we can do whatever we want. And all of a sudden it's like 1 o'clock and we're like, oh damn, like it's 1 o'clock, oh crap. And so that's one of those things that like we need to change. But guess what? No matter what time I go to bed, you guys, I wake up when the kids wake up, I get ready, and I'm like a robot, not like a bad robot, but a good robot. I wake up, we get them ready, I make my ketones, we get in the car, we go to the gym. It does not matter if I have 1 hour of sleep or 5 hours of sleep. Or 10 hours of sleep. It doesn't matter. Even though I have that one bad habit, my good habit is making up for it and allowing me to set the pace for my day. It really is. And you guys don't have to be perfect. Here's what I was kind of thinking about earlier too. It's kind of like when we're all voting for the president, okay? It does not have to be 100% to 0. No, it is a majority vote. If your choices each day and your routine each day, majority wins, you will win your day. You will. And so if your morning, and you guys have probably heard this 1,000 times, but really like your money mindset is based upon your daily routine. Everyone's looking for that light bulb. Everyone's looking for that one sentence they read in the book, or that fire, or that this or that. And truthfully, I am nobody special. I am not. But what I am is I know that each day, if I do this, it will accumulate to become that millionaire. I understood that, not right away. I understood that a couple years into the business, and I wish I would have understood it sooner. But it's that accumulation, you guys. It's like if you pile rocks. If you put one big rock there, like it's nothing special. It could be rolled away. But if you pile that rocks, that foundation is going to be so strong. And so every single day, it's leaving space for your mind to be focused on this business. How many of you guys wake up and you're just like so excited to work this business? I am. And that's because my day starts with a routine where I can have the space to think about that. If you start the day, and this is how it used to start, right? I start the day whenever Emma woke up and I was like, blah, blah, blah. What do I do? Maybe I'll eat something, sometimes good, sometimes bad, you know? And then I'm like, oh, she's awake, she's asleep. I'll play on my phone. And all of a sudden it's freaking noon. And I'm like, I haven't accomplished anything and I'm ready for a nap, right? That's what it is. And so if you start your day correctly, The rest of the day will have room to be successful, you guys. I am telling you, this is your secret to success. It is starting your day the right way. And it might not be my way. You don't have to make it my way, okay? But it has to be a way that is going to allow yourself to be awake and excited, okay? So anyways, I truly believe that like your mindset kind of comes from habits. And so, sorry, I wrote down a few things. So also another thing, you guys, is the sky is not the limit. It's only what you decide it's going to be. So for me, when I am talking to Pam, I don't even need to, like, I'm not even waiting for her to say something amazing that's going to change my life. All I need her to say is like, this compensation plan is built for you to make $1 million a month. I don't know how many times I've heard her say that. She said, our compensation plan is available to make at least $1 million a month. So why the crap are we not able to make $10,000 a month or $100,000 a month or $200,000 a month? It's there. If you guys want to put a limit on it, you're like, oh, I need it. I need something. $1 million a month. There's your limit. Okay. Now go reach for it. That's what it's going to be. You have to break through that barrier. If you have a barrier right now, and maybe I'm your barrier. Okay. Maybe you're like, all right, well, I'm on Christy's team, which actually means nothing because you can make more than me, but maybe I'm your barrier. Okay. Well, go make that barrier because I've made over 60,000 in 1 month. So use my barrier and decide that you are going to change that. And again, I truly believe it's one of those things where like, I didn't wake up one day and I was like, I'm totally going to be an ambassador one day. Like, I didn't really think like that. But what I did without understanding it was the compound effect. I did those things each day, every single day. I didn't miss a beat. And it became a habit so that if, you know, I was going through a miscarriage, I still did it. If I was having a baby, I still did it. Those are like the biggest things in my life. That's like pretty much it. Like, you know, if, oh my gosh, my kids have a birthday party. How many of you guys have ever heard an excuse that they can't work the business because they're planning their kid's birthday party? I'm like, dude, I have taken like 30 seconds to plan my kid's birthday party and it turned out great. You don't need a week. You can take the time to do this business. You have got to do it consistently. If you are inconsistent, just quit now. That sounds bad, but just don't even bother, because 1 week on, 1 week off starts you at day one tomorrow. It really does. It does for your market. It does for your brain. It does for your mindset. It does for everything. It starts you at day one. It does. For your team, why would anyone it's so funny because I hear people say sometimes too, they're like, well, Nicole just isn't working, or I just see your face, your name. You know, they're like, hey, like Nicole just isn't working. Like, what the heck? And I'm like, dude, I'm looking at your, like, where's your messages? Where's your post? Where's your this? Where's your that? Like, if you are inconsistent, the people that you are trying to make follow you and in your footsteps are going to do just that. They're going to follow in your footsteps, inconsistent or consistent. It's going to happen. You're going to attract that. And one of the big things too, you guys, about, I guess, a money mindset is that it is unlimited. It is unlimited. There is excess money. Like Pam said, they will print more if they need more. Sounds really bad, but it's true. If they need more, they will print more. It is unlimited, and it is not a bad thing. I think that is probably one of the biggest things, is that sometimes as you start to make money, people will judge you, right? Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You work at McDonald's, damn, I can't believe she works at McDonald's, right? Like, what a lazy bum. Oh my gosh, she wants to make $20,000 a month. How freaking greedy of her. Why the hell does she need $20,000 a month, right? Dude, you are damned if you do and you are damned if you don't. So you might as well just decide exactly how you want your life to look. That's what it is. Like, you have to decide that, because the money is unlimited and it is not bad. To be honest, I don't even know how much it was. I was just trying to think of like what Aaron told me, how much we made this year, and we tithe 10%. Okay. So between this and some of the giving back that we did, you guys, we were able to tithe over $46,000. Okay. If I was sitting on my couch saying, oh, no, God does not want me to have money, that is bad, that's greedy. Oh, me wanting to build a dream house, that is greedy, right? Like, that's so greedy. Why the hell does she need this big old house, this big backyard? Well, guess what? Because I was doing that, when I remodeled that house, you know how many people I'm going to give jobs to? A lot. And that's going to feed their families. You know how much I was able to tithe because I was working hard to earn that money to get that house? A lot. Money is not bad. Money is not evil. I truly believe it just accentuates what people already are. And so that's also why you'll never, to me, you'll never see an ambassador, someone, let me reword that. You'll never see someone get to like presidential or ambassador and stay for very long if they're not a good person. That sounds so bad, but you won't. If you guys see the ambassadors, like, you're just like, damn, like when we were at that top 20 retreat, I was like, wow, you guys are also like really good people. Like it was just a good crowd. It was just a good, loving crowd. And I really believe it's because like you will just be blessed with more if you just ask for it and you work for it. But I'm just going to tell you this straight, like you're not going to be blessed with anything if you are not willing to work for it. Okay. You don't get to be like, oh my gosh, ask and you shall receive. Okay, God, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for my Escalade. Like, no, you don't get to do that. You can say, hey, listen, I want this Escalade and I'm willing to do the work for it. And I promise you, like, oh my gosh, he shows up in bigger ways than you think. I have had months that I love to kind of share numbers a little bit because I think that opens up your guys' mindset, because sometimes our block is literally just that we're like, we can't see that happening. So how's that supposed to happen? So gosh, the January, I went ambassador into May. Okay. In that same January, I think my January volume I wasn't even presidential yet. I think my January volume was like 80,000. Okay. And by February, I went presidential and was making like, gosh, it was my highest check that year. It was like 34,000. And by May, I went ambassador and I had over 300,000 in volume, you guys. So there is no limit. If you're like, girl, I need to bust this cap, like show me some difference, I don't mind. I'm not a leader that hides stuff. You can message me and be like, girl, I'm a triple and I want to go ambassador. Can you show me a 300,000 volume jump? Like, I'll show you it, you guys. It's happened. It's happened for anybody in this spot. And so if you need to see it to believe it, like I'll show you it, but then you have to be willing to do the work for it. Okay, so Morgan, I'll let you start talking and we can kind of just bounce off each other because otherwise I'll just keep going. Let me see. Let me unmute you. I muted everybody because I was hearing some stuff. Oh. Okay, there you are.
No, you can totally keep talking. I was like writing notes. I was like, yes. Okay. No, that was super good. You kind of talked about some of the stuff that I was thinking about too, which is cool because, you know, there's so many different self-limiting beliefs that we have around money. And I've like believed a lot of them actually myself. And it wasn't until I read a book called Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. If you've never read that book, definitely go look. I'm looking for this link really quick, but Secrets of a Millionaire Mind is a really good book that talks about the different like money blueprints that you grew up with that you never realized held you back. And then whenever you hear them, you're going to be like, that's why I think that. And it's really, yes, it's eye-opening. That's a really good word. Yes, it's on Audible. That's the only way I do self-development pretty much is in Audible. But, okay, so here is some of the self-limiting beliefs. I found this earlier today. Let me find it. Okay, so, and I don't know, y'all can like, say like in the chat if like any of these, you know, resonate with you. So the first self-limiting belief that you can't have money, and that you can't make millions is that you don't want to, and you are perfectly happy with your state of finances right now. Because so many of us grow up thinking that enough is enough, like just enough is like barely getting by is enough, and we should be thankful for that, right? So the next one is that you don't think that you deserve it, even though you would never admit this out loud. You feel like you're not good enough. You feel like you're not worthy enough of that. You don't think that it's possible given your life's situation. I think of Jade Hooper. You know, she grew up with her mom and like she was putting, you know, sheets in the windows whenever she had Levi to like cover up and like keep the heat in. Like I think of that, like she could have used that as a reason why she could never be a millionaire, but here she is. You think that rich is evil and poverty is noble. And that's what Christy talked about earlier, which I'll go into more in depth too. But the next one is you think money will make you do bad things. But the truth of that is that money just makes you more of who you already are. If you're a generous person, you're going to be even more generous whenever you become rich. And you get to do things like what Christy did and give away so much money. Like some people like would dream to make that in a year. $46,000, and she got to give that away. That is pretty cool. So you can't say that money is bad when it gets to do things like that. You believe that you will lose your friends who also believe the first, second, and third thing above. It already said. So that they're perfectly happy with their finances, they don't deserve it, and they don't think that it's possible. So your friends who believe that, you're scared that you're going to lose them. You feel torn, guilty, and conflicted about your desire to be wealthy and prosperous. Has anybody ever felt that? Like I have recently felt that because like I am not coming here like helping y'all about or like helping teach y'all about money mindset because I've got it down. Like I'm like, yes, I'm learning this like today. So here's what I learned today. Because it's definitely something that you're always going to work on. Like I think that it's going to be something that you always struggle with even. And as you make more money, you're going to be like, oh, like, can I have more? Is it bad that I still want more? Like, is it bad? And so I have this like conflicting view, and I'll talk about my money blueprint in a second, but I do feel torn and guilty and conflicted a lot. You blame your parents for not having enough money and not teaching you better. You believe that your riches are, or that riches are bestowed upon a lucky few. So you believe that it's only lucky people who get rich. You think that you will be unhappy because money isn't supposed to buy happiness. And we see a lot of rich people who aren't happy. But remember, money doesn't make you bad or unhappy. It makes you more of what you already are. So those people who are unhappy with or without money. And Zig Ziglar said this, I just thought of this. He said, you're going to have problems if you're rich and you're going to have problems if you're poor. So you might as well have problems if you're rich because it makes it a little bit easier. Like you're going to have problems either way. So you might as well be rich. So the next one is you think that the only way to be wealthy is if you marry into wealth or if you came from wealth. So that kind of goes back to the other one where you think that like you didn't grow up rich, so you couldn't be rich. And then the other one, last one, is that you have none of these self-limiting beliefs, but you just have no idea how to make more money, but yet you won't seek expert advice. And I don't think that that's any of you because you're all on the Zoom. So congratulations, you don't have the last one probably. So those are some of the self-limiting beliefs, and there's so many more out there, but those are top like ones I found on this little thing this morning. But there's some different affirmations that I say every single day, and I should have gotten this out, but some of the like money mindset affirmations, and you can even look these up on Pinterest too, but some of the ones that I say, and it's weird that you said that you made $60K a month, because I always write down for like the last year, I said I make $60K a month easily and effortlessly, and that's on my dream board, like it's everywhere. So you just confirmed that. Thank you very much. Okay, so I write down things like, you know, I am ambassador, I am debt free, I am top 10, I make $60K a month easily and effortlessly, wealth is a natural part of my life, prosperity is drawn to me, money is a boomerang. I heard that from somebody one time and I was like, that's really cool, because drop a 1 in the comments if you're like, I hate spending money because I'm scared I'll run out of it. That was me. Not anymore. And I'm not like stupid with my money. I'll just like throw it away because I'm like, it's coming back. Let's go. Let's buy the Lamborghini. It's coming back. But like I do spend money more freely because I know that I'm going to make that back and it's going to come back in abundance. So money is a boomerang. As soon as you send it out, more is coming back. I am a money magnet. I am grateful, thankful, and blessed. God is enlarging my territory. If you've never read the book called The Prayer of Jabez, you should read that, because it's the prayer from the Bible that he prays, and it says, God, that you would bless me and that you would enlarge my territory. And back then, territory was like their income. It was like their wealth status. So if they had more territory, they had more money. So he's basically saying, like, God, that you would bless me and increase my income. And so I ask God to enlarge my territory. I say money flows freely to me. I attract wealth and success easily and effortlessly. I put no limits on the amount of money that I can make. And there's so many different ones that you can do. But it's really great whenever you can combat those lies that you know you're going to face in your own head in the morning and write down those affirmations. So then that's what's going to stick with you throughout the day. So whenever you're tempted to think the old way in a poor, broke mindset, then you're going to remember that and be like, no, money flows freely to me. Or you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to spend that because, like, what if, I run out of money? No, money is a boomerang. It comes right back to me, and I know that I'm going to make more, and I live in abundance. And it's that scarcity versus abundance mindset. And I don't know, like, I've just been learning a lot, because I think that for so long, because I love the Lord and I'm like, whatever. So I thought for so long that it was like one or the other. You love Jesus or you wanted to get rich, and that you couldn't have both. And drop a 2 in the comments if you're like, yes, that's me, because all your heads are shaking. So you're like, yes, okay. So I thought that it had, yes, prayer of Jabez. So I thought that you had to have one or the other, and that you couldn't have both. I thought that they didn't go together. I thought that God didn't want me to be rich. People always grew up or when I was growing up, people always told me, money is the root of all evil. But if you read the Bible, that is not what the Bible says. It says the love of money is the root of all evil, and wanting more of it doesn't mean that you love it. It just means that you know that you can do so much good with it. Because here's the thing, just like what Christy said that, Pam talks about, like, money is limitless. So here's the deal. Somebody's going to have it. So why not you? Why not you who wants to go and give that money away? Why not you who wants to go and do good things with that money and to, be debt free? Because that's also a biblical principle. Like, why not you? Secrets of the Millionaire Mind was the first book that I said. Okay, so I was talking about the money blueprint. So there was a couple different things that I grew up thinking, and we talked a little bit about them already, but one of them was that my mom, and this isn't like a slight at her, but she kind of made us feel like it was bad for people to have money, because she would look at other people, because we didn't have a lot, but they were also extremely frugal. So I always thought that it was bad to spend money. And then I also thought that whenever people would buy nice things, she was always like, oh, they're just doing that to keep up their appearance. So then when I started to make money and I thought I could buy nice things, I was scared that people were going to look at me and be like, oh, she's just doing that because she's materialistic and trying to keep up with all these other people. And so it's crazy how those things seep into your life, and you don't even realize that you remember those things, but you do. And you're like, whoa. I actually believe that now about myself, and that's not even true. And so it's just so many different blueprints and self-limiting beliefs that a lot of us are taught from either our parents or the people that we surround ourselves with now, which you can change because you can up-level your circle. So if the people that are around you are not pushing you to hit your goals and they're trying to dumb you down to bring you back to reality, then maybe you should change your circle. Find new friends who are gonna push you, and you're in the right place here because all these people would push you towards your goals and not tell you that you're crazy. Because people think that I am crazy. If I told them my goals, I think it was Pam that said this too. They're like, if you saw my journal, you would think I was crazy. But she's like, but I did it all. I did all of it. And so it's really cool just whenever I hear her talking about that, because I just love whenever she talks about this stuff too. I'm like, I can literally be a billionaire every month, $1 billion a month.
She talks so naturally too. She's just like, oh no, honey, it's yours already. And I was like, you're right, it is.
Yes, exactly. And I'm like, okay, she's not preaching to you. She's just like, yeah, it's already yours, it's fine. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
I love that. So the other thing I was going to talk about really quick is an income container. And I forget, I think this is in Secrets of a Millionaire Mind too, because I re-listened to it a little bit. And Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, towards the beginning or middle, it talks about your income container. And it says, if your income container is $5,000 a month. You can make $20,000 a month, but do you know how much you're going to keep? 5,000, because that's all that you can hold. So you're either going to throw the other $15,000 away, or like you're going to end up like losing it somewhere, you know, because like you hear all of these like rich people who have nothing, and you're like, why does that always happen? Like the people who win the lottery, they're like filing for bankruptcy a couple years later. Why? Because their income container wasn't big enough for the money that they brought in. So if you say you want to bring in more money, don't you want to keep it? And I don't mean like don't give it away, but I mean like don't you want to not just blow all of it? Because I'm sure Christy did this too, but like you're kind of stupid with your first couple big checks. You're like balla, like just dollar bills, and you just think that, you know, everything's so great, and you don't save it, and you're like, crap, should have done that. And so I like just want to challenge y'all to expand your income container. That way, whenever you do have this money flowing in, you know what to do with it. Because if you're not a good steward with your money, why would God give you more of it? So increase your income container, help like, you know, figure out a way to keep that money and to do good things with it, so that you don't just like throw it away and have nothing to show for it at the end, you know? So, and then I have a couple things too, but we can go back.
I was just going to say, going based upon what you said, you guys, my mom has always said this phrase, nobody is useless. This is horrible. She always said, nobody is useless. People can serve as a bad example. And I think that that is such a blessing, because you guys have us. Like, we can teach you the right way and the wrong way. And, you know, we just have to be so loud about everything. But it's so funny because when you said that, I was like, honestly, we've actually been really good with our money, but it was because I had seen a bad example. I saw someone in my life, I'll just say it's my mom. She knows how to bring in the money. She knows how to bring it in, but man, is she boomeranging it right back out immediately. So I was like, all right, I want to be left with something at the end of the day. Cause I've said this 1,000 times. You make $1 million, but if you have $0 at the end of the year, you're still broke. Like you're not a millionaire. Like being called a millionaire is having a net worth of $1 million. Like, you know, so that's one of those things. But really quick, what you said, and there's someone just blowing up the chat, and I don't know if you're on my downline or Morgan's, but this is how I am. If you comment in the chats, I'm gonna call you out. So I just want you guys to understand that when we are talking, you need to be listening. If you are just not, if everything we say is going in one ear and out the other, and you're like, well, I can't sign distributors and customers, stop worrying so much about the how. The how is every freaking place. I signed 2 distributors today. Why can't I sign 2 and you sign 2? We can. There are people everywhere. The money abundance is the same as the distributor and the customer abundance. They are everywhere. They are everywhere, but they will not come into your space unless you ask for them. Okay? And if you're in a bad space of mind, you're asking for them, guess what? You're still going to get them, but you're going to get the bad ones. You're going to get the ones that come in and they're like, oh, made my first post, I quit. And I'm like, what just happened? Like, you literally just signed up. But you guys, like, it is the same. There is an abundance of everything. And your mind, this is why I was talking about the routine and just starting your day just crystal clear and simple and excited. Because if you do not, you guys, your whole brain is going to be like, well, how am I supposed to sign a distributor if I only have 200 followers, if I this, if I that? Stop worrying. That is the biggest thing. This business, you have to have faith. You have got to stop worrying. Stop worrying about the how so much. It's already there, you guys. We freaking post, we freaking message, we freaking follow up. It is so simple. But it's this. It is literally this thing that you have got to get a grip on. And don't talk over everybody. When you're listening to a personal development book or you're reading something, don't get in your head, well, how am I supposed to make $1 million and have a total abundance if I can't even do this or that? Stop worrying about that. You will be equipped. As soon as you are ready to accept it, the income and the people coming into your team and the customers that are going to be yours, as soon as you're ready to accept it, they will freaking free flow. It is the craziest thing ever. That's why when people are in momentum, to be honest, I really just think momentum is just, you're so focused that you have zero negative thoughts in your head. That's truly what I believe momentum is. Because guess what happens when momentum stops? It's when you start to look at like, oh, what's Annette doing? Oh, what's Morgan doing? Oh my gosh, her income, my income. Oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. And you start to like worry about everything else. So then your momentum slows down. This is all about your mindset. The work is so freaking easy. I can do my whole day's work in 1 hour. My post, my message, my ad, my interacting, and my following up. I can do that in 1 hour, you guys. Literally. But it is this that has to be right. Quiet your mind tonight. Journal exactly what you want. I don't care if you don't have a freaking journal, dude. Don't go buy some fancy thing that's going to take 3 weeks to get there. Whatever. Stop being bougie. Just freaking sit down, pull out a piece of paper, and be like, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. And this is the habit that I'm going to create every day to start that. And then tomorrow, you're going to wake up and you're going to say, what would a person who wants to be a double diamond making $6,000 a month do? What would that kind of person do right now? Would that kind of person jump in the shower and moan and cry and whine and be like, I can't sign anything. I don't know what to post. I'll just do it later. Blah, blah, my stories. Blah. No, they wouldn't. They'd be like, I'm going to get in the shower. And then when I get out and I'm doing my makeup, I'm going to listen to personal development. I'm going to write down my goals. I'm going to send out 20 messages. I'm going to go take my kids to school and blah, 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 blah. Like they're just going to get it freaking done. So ask yourself, every move you make, it's funny because I was like, yeah, it was talking about that in this book. And it was like, what would a person who wants to lose 30 pounds do in this situation? I got a cookie. Very easy. They would say no. Okay, walk away, dude. Walk away. I got to tell myself to walk away all the damn time. I am the worst. I have the worst self-control. So guess what I do? What would a person who wants to be healthy and still has 5 pounds to lose? They wouldn't buy the thing in the first place. Like you gotta start from making things easier. And I read somewhere in a book, granted, you guys, everything that Morgan and I say, I just want you to know we've read it in a book or listened to it on a video. Like we're not special. I'm just repeating everything I've ever heard. Make the hard things easy and the easy things hard. For me, I told Aaron, literally, I told him last night, I said, what we need to do is we need to remove the TV that didn't used to be in our bedroom. I said, we need to remove that back into our room. And as soon as we put the kids to bed and take our vitamins, we need to go straight up to our room. Because then guess what? We're not going to sit and stay awake for multiple hours. And then I'm not going to go to bed at 1. Make the easy things harder and the harder things easy. It is that simple. And the habits will just form in themselves. But anyways, I just have to say that because sometimes there's so much noise. You guys you're trying to figure out the how. And I'm like, dude, the how is literally just like in front of you. It's not even a question. It's the why. It's the mindset. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's why it's so funny when Mikkel was going triple, I think it was, she messaged me and it was like the night before and she had a couple thousand left to get there. And she was like, just tell me I can do this. She's like, can I do this? And I was like, oh girl, you got this. Like you're doing this. This is easy. Like I've seen 3 times this amount be brought in one day by half the people. Like you got this. She's like, okay, I got this. And she made it happen. She could have easily crawled into a hole and been like, no, I can't do this. It's literally all about perception because it's your brain. Everything's in your brain. Okay. Anyways, I'll stop now because I could just go on freaking forever about how simple it is if you just get this right. That's all. It's all that matters. Oh, let me unmute you. Sorry. Okay.
Okay. No, it's true because it's like whenever we're going through this stuff, you're like, no, but really, how do I do this? We're like, no, this is how you do this. 80% of this business is mindset. If you're sitting over here trying to figure out how you get customers, guess what? You can message 50 people a day with the wrong mindset and 50 people a day with the right mindset. You're going to have a very different outcome. The work is the same. We don't do anything differently than what any of the other people on the Zoom do. We just have a different mindset when we do it. And that's the difference between the people that are successful and the people who aren't, and the people who feel stuck and the people who are excited. The only thing else I was going to say is I was going to read a couple of verses because I was saying, I felt like for so long that this was either or, you could serve God or you could want to be rich, and you can do both. And so there's a couple of different things. Number one, there's this verse in Genesis, and if you have never listened to what is it? The Blessed Life series by, I forget his name, Robert Morris. If you've never listened to The Blessed Life by Robert Morris, it's not a book. I mean, I think that he does have a book, but I'm talking about like the YouTube channel. Like he's like got a series. It's really good. But he went over this morning, and it was really cool because he said it's Genesis 12:2, and it says, "I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you, and I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing." So God loves to like bless us so that we can be a blessing. You know, and it's funny because people think that like, oh, like I'll just be poor and like, and I just want to like help people and I don't care about the materialistic stuff. Is it easier to help poor people from an empty hand or a full one? Is it easier to help poor people when you have food to give them or when you can't even buy food for yourself? Is it easier to help people across the world who need food and clothes when you have a full wallet or an empty one? Because I'm just saying, if you truly want to help people, you got to help yourself. Because it's really hard to give when you don't even have enough to make ends meet yourself. So yes, it's on YouTube. It's called The Blessed Life by Robert Morris. It's so good. So he talks about that, and he was like, you know, why would God say he was going to bless you if that's bad? Like, why would he say that? He wouldn't. The other thing is Deuteronomy 28:8. It says, the Lord will send a blessing on you, on everything that you do, and will fill your storehouses with grain. The Lord your God will bless you in the land that he is giving you. Oh, I think that's not the right verse, but that's okay. There's another verse in Deuteronomy that says that he's going to bless the work that you put your hands to. So again, like I want to emphasize that this isn't just like, oh yes, okay, so tomorrow I will just meditate and open my hands and just receive the blessing of the Lord. Like that's not how that works. You also have to do the work, because if you're not doing the work, he doesn't have anything to bless. So you need to be putting the work in, and then he can bless that effort. But he doesn't like laziness either. So he's not just gonna be like, oh yeah, like we'll just bless them because they just, you know, whatever, because they wanted me to, but he wants you to put the work in, and he desires to bless you. But so this is the last thing I was going to say, and then you can just end it however you want to, or like, I don't know. So this is the last thing, and it's like an excerpt from like this little book that I was reading. It's The Streams in the Desert. It's like a daily devotion book. It's my absolute favorite one. But there's this verse in Malachi, and this is the one that I love, and it's talking about tithing, like what Christy said, but it says, test me in this, and like it's saying to bring your tithe into the storehouse. And then it says, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing on you that you will not have room enough for it. And that is a kind of blessing that I am here for. Like, I'm here for that. So bring it on. I don't want to have the room to take it in. The other thing that he says, this is just like it's like as if God was telling us. And it says, I still have floodgates in heaven, and they are still in service. The locks open as easily as before, and the hinges have not grown rusty. In fact, I would rather throw them open to pour out the blessings than hold them back. I opened them for Moses in the sea when the sea parted, and I opened them for Joshua, and the Jordan River stopped. I opened them for Gideon, and the armies fled, and I will open them for you, if only you will let me. And then at the end it says, God has the ability to perform far beyond our prayers, even our greatest prayers. I have asked for a cupful while he owns the ocean. I have asked for one simple ray of light when he holds the sun. My best asking falls immeasurably short of the Father's ability to give, which is far beyond what we could ever ask. And I thought that was really cool.
I love that, you guys. I'm like a person where I can take like one tidbit and just freaking run with it. And that was kind of an aha moment, like what you just said a minute ago. And I just kind of put it in my simple words, but just like, he blesses the working hands, because so often I tell people like, listen, it has to be personal development. You have to like attract what you want to be. You have to be what you want to attract. You have to ask and you shall receive. But then you also have to put the work in, like, don't forget that part. It's really important. But like that, just put it in like the simplest terms, like he blesses the working hand. That's like the biggest thing to me. I love that so much. And thank you so much for sharing all of those. That was awesome. So if you don't have anything else, I am done. And you guys, I'm telling you, like, we're just regular people. We just do personal development, and then we just come on here and just throw up words on you. Like, literally, that's just what it is. And if you don't feel excitement yet for this business, I just urge you to like dive into what you want and just, like I said, like pull out a piece of paper and just decide like in 12 months, because it's not going to happen overnight, but in 12 months, where do you want your life to be? So like, what house are you in? How many children do you have? Who are you sitting with in your home? Is your husband working still? Is he at his dream job? Has he started a business? Are you sitting looking at a bank account that's full and a debt that is empty? You know, like really just decide how you want things to look, because that's what's going to get you excited, you guys. Because there are days where I'm like, dude, I don't want to talk to nobody. Like, stop it. You know, like, stop messaging me. And then I go on Pinterest and I look at my house stuff and I'm like, I got this. And then somebody messages me and they're like, thank you. Like, thank you for doing this. Like, you changed my life by messaging me. And that is so powerful, you guys, because like I said to you guys the other day, like, we're just doing our jobs. Our job is to offer this opportunity that will change people's lives. That's our job. And the fact that we can get people saying thank you to us while we're making an income, and we can create these amazing lifelong friendships while we're making an income, and then people are saying thank you to us, like people are going to say thank you to you for doing your job. Has anyone ever said thank you at your job, like as a waitress and whatnot? Probably majority of the time it's not thank you. Probably the majority of the time, the only time people are talking to you is if it's about something bad, right? Like this is a blessing, but it is your job. It is your business. Your job pays your bills. This business is going to pay for your dreams. So you have to decide, like, what is your dream? What do you want? And do not let that 9 to 5 where you are putting in just enough work not to get fired. Okay. You're putting in just enough work not to get fired, and they are paying you just enough for you not to quit. Do not let that distract you from your dreams and your goals, because I believe all your jobs are just the adversary, just trying to distract you from what's coming. Like, that's what it is. So just decide tonight and pull out a piece of paper and just get crystal clear on what you want, and then decide what that type of person's day would look like, and decide how you're going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to spend that day. And how would somebody who in a year is going to be in their dream home spend their day? What would I do today? Right? So anyways, love you all. This has been awesome. Thank you so much, Morgan. And this has been great.
It's been so great.
Yeah, you're awesome. And you guys, she's like the cutest thing ever. And guess what? She doesn't have any kids. Oh my gosh. If you guys don't have any kids and you don't know what to post because you don't have any kids, go look at Morgan's post because she don't have kids. So it's fine. That's my biggest excuse. Like, I don't have kids. And I'm like, dude, come on. But anyways. All right, guys. I hope you have a good, happy Monday, and we will see you later.
Bye.
Bye, guys.